Hi everyone, welcome back. I thought I would explain what masterboards are today. They're something I make up quite a lot when I've got a gel plate, and I do go quite mad with them. And these are what a masterboard is. So it's sheets that I've made up, I've rollered, brayered, stenciled, and I end up cutting them up to do tags and backgrounds on collages and all sorts of things like this. Now I also do these, well, I have done these, should I say. So these are collages, so collages for whatever I want. That's actually a kit in the shop, but these were the original boards that I've done, and eventually they will get used up, and turn them around the right way. They will get used up and cut up into tags. The trouble with these ones is they're a little bit too big, so I think perhaps just cut bits of them out to make into collages in the books and what have you. And I thought it might be fun to do Valentines. Or as a family, we don't normally do Valentines. It's just not something I'm really into. I tell my husband every day I love you, and so that's, that works for me. So, pink paint. I don't have a lot of pink paint. So, I went through my stuff. I've got some, so I've raided a lot of the kids' stuff. So, we've got some real sort of cheap metallic sort of pinks. That's the one I do have, and that's about the closest I get to in mine. I do have, what's that one called? Spanish mulberry, paper artsy, that one is. And then, but I do have white. So with things like the reds, the proper sort of, what's that one? Dark scarlet. I figured I could make pink. So I thought I'd have a go at making a masterboard for Valentine's Day. And then cut it up, make some embellishments, make some tags, whatever. I've put on my website, and I will put a link below, some freebies. So that's the actual, it is the right way around. That's the actual sheet. There's just some very basic heart shapes and a couple of little quotes. I'll put a link below to that. It's on the blog, and I've actually been and cut some out ready to use next time. I do have, if you are not that way inclined, I've got I've put a kit on Etsy. Oh, I've got a kit on Etsy, a Valentines, and these are one of the pages, and these are just plain blank tags, and then there are sheets with decorated tags and what have you. So options. Right, start off with a masterboard. I am using Canson mixed media. It's quite a heavyweight paper, 200 GSM, £120. If you're using, you can use normal paper. I would go for thin card and give it just give it a coat of gesso, just so it doesn't get too wet, too soggy when you're sorting it all out. I also have papers, lots of different papers. So, book pages, music pages. I thought it might be fun to do different colours. That's from a 1920s book. I think this one is from a 1960s book. Well, they look good. And that one's got a bit of age round. I thought the contrast, because obviously when you do the paint is going to pick up differently on the different colours. Right, to glue it all down, I've got Liquitex, there we go, matte gel. I just find it easier to use, although of course you can use any kind of liquid glue that you got. PVA glue is I've used, and it all works. It's whatever you've got to hand, really. I'm trying to keep my costs down after Christmas, so there you go. Right, I will probably speed this lot up with no talking, and so I will speak to you all once it's all done. Right, I think that's it. So this is just peel it off my board. That now needs to dry. So that is because I'm going to paint it, I've kept it pretty much tone, so the shades are all the same, the tone is all the same of the board. It's you could leave it like that and just stamp on it or to stencil on it. Me, I'm gonna cover most of it with paint. Right, I'm gonna go away and dry this, and I will be right back. Hey everyone. Right, I've dried this off, and the other thing I've done is just trim around the edges just so I can see where I'm painting and where I don't need it to be painted. Now this is, if leave it like this, it's just a really fast way of making one background, or actually it will be very different backgrounds for four different tags. So I'm going to paint mine now, like I was saying, pink, not really my colour, but so to go with the pink I've also got some blues and different blues. If I spin them around you can see what they are. Different blues, different greys. And I've also got, I've raided the kids' craft box, bit of gold, metallic gold, very cheap, very cheerful. A quick word that I wanted to mention was brayers. I like using brayers because they cover a lot of surface quite quickly. I started off with this one, not really realising what I was buying. An SD. Don't know if you can. Ah, there we go. SD. It's part of a lino printing kit that I've got. Brilliant, but then after watching lots of videos, realised that you need something called a soft roller. That one is hard when you push it, and this one has a bit of give. Oops, a bit of give to it, which I have to say does make life so much easier. Right, I have one of these cheapy wax paper paint palette things, so I'm thinking, right, what we got? Permanent rose. And this is one that actually doesn't look anything like the front. That's a real sort of deep pink and titanium white. I like white on everything. So I am going to put loads of white on. I'm thinking I'm going to make my own pinks up. So I'm going to just put lots of different colours on. Ooh. Different finishes, different. Now some I won't change. I don't know if I'm. Oh wow! Look at that. Neon pink. What's that one? Opera rose. Neon pink. Can you tell that's one of the kids? So I'm thinking. Where's my paintbrush? I'm gonna take. I don't like. Oh, actually, that one's okay. That one is interesting. So let's have a bit of. What's that? Let's just see if we can actually make a colour that may be useful. Oh, that's not too bad. I think what I should have done was mix it into that. That's not too bad. I'm not a fan of, I like neutral colours, that's my thing. That's not too bad, but I've gone and wasted a load of paint. Okay, so I'm thinking start with the darker ones and work my way round. Work my way to the lighter ones and then add contrast on at the end. So, okay, loads of paint, so let's give it a go. And that doesn't look that bad at all. I'm not fussed if I use up if I cover up all the writing, it's there in case I leave a gap. So, where are we? So if I move everything over, too much paint on there, but no. The idea being is that I will knock it back with some white, I think, after. Go on, let's try a bit of this neon pink. Oh, my life. You never know. Oh, boy. Okay, yeah, that's proper neon. Yep, okay, I don't like that at all. Okay, let's go in with something. What are we going to do? Actually, I think I'm going to go over with some white, which I've just grabbed off my pad. Is that? Let's move that up a bit and you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's better. A bit of white. Let's just quickly dry this lot off. Okay, that's not completely dry, but that will be fine for what I want. So, just a touch of paint. I love this colour. Okay, let's get rid of that. I'm thinking I need something to take that right back. So it's like a blue-grey, this one. Let's just put a bit on there. Once I've shaken it. Just a drop. Oh, that's better. Just tone it down a bit. Oh, that looks a mess, doesn't it? So, let's add a very grey white to it. Oh, it almost looks like patchwork. Oh, that's different. Yep, that's working for me. And maybe, what have we got? Wedgwood. Get rid of all the bits. Just a touch of light blue. Okay. I can see you all looking horrified on the screen. Honestly, it will be fine. I think I am going to get rid of this. Okay. Proper clean up. Let's put a bit of metallic gold over the top. This is quite translucent, this paint, because it's a very cheap paint. Like I say, it's out of the kids' art box. And just give it a bit of shimmer. In fact, it's that translucent I can't actually see it. There we go. These cheap paints do have a use, they really do, because they're quite thin, very runny. They don't cover up what's underneath, but what they do is just give everything, just tie it together. Now, as a board, you're probably horrified and looking at that going, oh my god, what can I do with that? Quite a lot, actually. So if that's the main one, let's get rid of the paint off here and here. You just hate it. I know I've left my brayer for a couple of days when I've been called away from the shed, and I've had to soak the flipping thing to get it off. Right, now rather than go in and add white at this stage to add highlights, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up into bits and then add white to it as I'm going along. I actually really like the sheen on that. I don't know if it's picking it up on the camera. Right, I'm going to dry this and then I will be right back. Right, I've dried everything off. I've been and cut up the board, and I've picked out, the beauty of this is you can pick out the bits that you really like out of it. So for me, I didn't like that one. That was a bit too dark, and that didn't work for me at all. So, but they will come in useful for collages. So don't throw them away, keep your bits. Let's get rid of this paint. So I am left with that one, and that one. For me, that was the best use of the size A4 paper that I was using. Now, what I want to do is add a bit of contrast to them. So I have to the side here a bit of white, and I'm just, that one I think is okay. That one's a bit dark, so I'm just going to go in and add a bit of white. Although saying that, I am going to cut the tops off them maybe. And I'm just going to, yep, that one's better. Which way up do I want that one? That way, I think. So I've got the music paper at the bottom, and then I'm going to cut those two bits off there. So I'm just going to add, I'm just scrubbing it on really. I am going to back these because I always make a mess with these, so I'm not too worried about it getting onto the back of the back of the card. And the last one, that was really dark at the bottom. No, definitely that way. So let's just put a bit of, all it does is this is just adding a bit of contrast. If you like, I suppose really lightening and brightening it. You know what? Oops, sticky. I quite like those. Although that one, I'm looking at it on the screen and that looks awful, but honestly, it looks much nicer in real life, honest. Right, I just need, where's my scissors? I'm just going to chop off the corners. And then if I use that one as a template, right, so if I use Same again with the little ones. Okay, that one didn't work. Too steep. So that looks better. And then use that one as a template. Not sure about that one. It's got a very nice shine to it. I like those. Right. What have we got? Let's get rid of the paint before I put my arm in it. Start on a tag. I think. Right, this is better. A grey background. They show up so much better. Now these are the bits that I've fussy cut from the freebie. A couple of little quotes which I thought were very sweet, and some tags. Oops. I'm thinking there are 2 of each heart, so 2 of those. Now whether I hang one off the top, that might be good. Oh, that looks better on that one. So the darker one. So if I just concentrate on doing a couple, I think, a couple of the big ones. I quite like that one. I did think with these ones that actually they could be, if you wanted to, they could be separated, so you could. I quite like the idea of no, over the top, I think. Although it needs a bit of fabric, lint, I'm thinking. Should we be a devil? And should we put something different on that one? That looks quite good. Right, I will be right back. I've just got to go and grab some lint. Right, I've been and found the lint from my first aid box. And I'm thinking I'm going to make some layers, I think. Oh, this is fiddly stuff. Okay, let's do it over the paler one of the 2. Flatten that out a bit. I'm going to back these after, because you see I've got a bit of dirt going on there. Now I'm thinking that little chap, I've got a sentiment I want to put on there, and that one I think, but I think I'm going to have that one hanging from the top. That doesn't stand out very well, so let's just give it. Actually, that's what I could do to all these. Oh, nearly forgot. Yes. Oops. get rid of that. These maybe aren't your conventional Valentine's Day tags. I'm not sure. Is there such a thing as convention? I do like that one down the bottom. I do quite like that one up there. Maybe if we scrunch it up a bit. So that one. And then that one. And then where are my little ones gone? Hanging off the top. Oh, I quite like that. Okay. Now my hot glue gun is broken. So while I wait to get myself another one. Suggestions would be good. What do you use for hot glue guns? I can be a little dangerous with a hot glue gun. But on the other hand, my last one was good, but it took forever to heat up. And then the one I bought sort of 8 months ago has just gone and broken on me. So I'm just going to use normal glue. You can use gel medium, you can use anything. In some ways this might be a little nicer than the hot glue gun because I'm not burning myself, which I do frequently. Oh, sticky fingers. Let's give this just a quick run round. I did think about putting a dimension tag on it and then thought, no, because there's going to be enough on the back anyway. So I'm just going to put it on with glue. I'm thinking somewhere like that. We got that bit stuck down, yay. Now I did think of putting these on. Oh, we've had helicopters flying over all day today. No. That looks okay. Instead of at the top, maybe. No, actually, no. Silly idea. Oh, excuse me. So that one can go there. Same again, I'm not going to put a dimension tag on it. A dimension sticker pad thingy. Because I think it's going to be dimensional enough with the lint underneath, or the fabric. Right, now I'm going to poke a hole in this. Let's get back on screen. I've got some of the hole reinforcers. I'm going to hang. Oh, poker tool required. Ooh, I think I'm going to need the little one. So that one can hang on there. I've got some of this shoelace ribbon, 3mm. It's just... Right, so I've got my shoelace ribbon. Right, so there's a bit of a jump there. I do apologise, the camera just, the battery just went on me. I quite like that one just being tied at the top, although there was no point in putting that thing. Right, number one. Now for the second one. This one's a lot brighter, a lot darker. Let's just go around the edges. I have taken to actually using the black on some of it. It just makes it really vibrant and really... What I do want to do on that one though, bear with me. Do it on the back of this. These are just soft pastels, chalk pastels, and I really do like them. I used to do a lot of art, a lot of drawing portraits and what have you with in soft pastels, and they just add a bit of something. I think they're very intense in colour. And while they can rub off, if you rub them in hard enough, they don't tend to. Okay, the only problem is I get covered in them. But if I... Yeah, I like that. That gives that just a bit of an edge on the sides. Now then, do we want to put some more of that on, or have we had enough of that? In which case, do we want to back it onto a bit of paper? Choice is. That's a bit too stark, that one is. A bit too much of a contrast. Oh, that one. Actually, that colour looks really good with it. Maybe we make a collage up of all the bits we've got. So one could go there. And another one. Maybe that little chap at the top. And if I move them down, I've even got room for the hole. Don't really think it needs that. Boots that. I do want to put this sentiment on. I quite like to leave the name of the person, i.e. Shakespeare. So what do you think? 1, 2, 3, and the sentiment. Drooping. I don't think that's appropriate for a Valentine's. Maybe just the 2. Yep. Okay, let's put this one on. Okay, I mentioned stickers, not dimension thingies. One across the top. One across the bottom. Do you know what I didn't do? I do keep forgetting to do this. It doesn't feel very secure in the middle. So maybe one there. I got a bulk buy of these things from our local works, my local works shop. Works, I suppose, is the same as the American Hobby Lobby. So that looks quite nice going over there. And maybe this little chap. Or do we? No, definitely bigger at the bottom. Okay, and some on this one. What I could do with, I think, is a bit of lace trim. Oh, lace bits. Oh, quite like that on the bottom. As about you, I have boxes and boxes of bits. Except I can never find exactly what I'm looking for. No. Thinking that I've got to put. What's that one? That's quite a nice one. That one could go on the bottom. I don't know. What do you think, people? Oh, glue. Um. I'm going to have to take off Shakespeare, I think. Let's just give this an edge. And do you know what? Shakespeare can go underneath. Yeah, I quite like that. Let's move that up a bit. Don't you just love it when it goes quiet? What time is it? Oh, I've still got an hour before the first of my young ladies arrives home. No, definitely that colour. More of a purple to go with the overall shade of this one, the overall tone of that one. No, this one's going over here. Okay, so then I can put this over here. Yeah. You have days when you've got fingers and thumbs. I'm having one of those days today. Okay. Maybe a little not fit. Yep. I want this to hang over the edge slightly. Okay, so that's two. I think, Mr. Shakespeare, I'm going to have to cut you off again. So let's put this one in first. And I think that's done. Let's put a hole in the top of this one. I think this one's got enough embellishments on it not to have one of the little ones hanging off it. So there we go. 2 Valentine's tags with, unless of course you really hate the backgrounds, in which case you're going, I told you so, I told you so. But I quite like doing these master boards. They really work for me, and they are a brilliant way of keeping something in reserve. So if you come to something and you think it's a card or a tag or anything that you've got an instant background, even if it's only a bit of it, you can normally make a card up or a tag up or something out of it. I think they're great. I will be doing some more of these, and there will be others of you going, I hated that, Zoe. That the collage was wonderful, the colours were not. I have to admit, I was a bit iffy about the colours when I first started. They've grown on me. I'm not a pink girl, as you can see. It's blue, black, grey. Sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone, and that was definitely this for me. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. I will be back with some more. I've got a fantasy fairy woodland book on the go at the moment. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. That is pushing me in all sorts of directions, let me tell you. Right, I will speak to you all later now. Bye.